May 2025 story. So if I can put down a proposal for that.
Where's allotments gone?
It's gone into, so you've got the current structure, and then on your next,
Yeah.
so it's gone into village amenities.
It doesn't say it's included as well.
It will be included as part of village, that's the idea of, so it'll be removed as a subcommittee and just be included as part of village amenities.
Right.
So we're removing it as a subcommittee in its own right.
It might have been at Julie's meeting that you might not have been in attendance to. So at the moment, with it being a Friday morning, it's quite hard for attendance all round. And actually, when we reviewed the agenda items, it could just be its own subsection in the village amenities because the allotments is a village amenity. So it could be a subsection of that agenda each month on the schedule that we've just agreed to. We've spoken to the association, they're happy to do that. So when that village amenities meeting starts, it'll have its own subsection of allotments first. But I appreciate you might not have been at that meeting when that's been discussed.
Excellent. Are there any other questions or comments? Can I get a seconder then for the John seconding? And I'll move to votes then. Votes in favour of the proposed structure? Full house. Thank you very much. 8.2, to review the terms of reference of committees. And we had some lengthy documents there, of which had all the terms and conditions of the committees and like how they're made up, how many members and so on. And some of them have some delegated powers such as finance and general purpose, just to add that in there. Any questions or comments? Andy, yeah.
Yeah, on the terms of reference for the review panel committee, item 7 says there'll be 6 members of the committee. It says part A, only 4 members will be selected by council per investigation, and that will be determined by councillor impartiality, experience, professional skill set, dependent on the work instructed to be undertaken. I think an important point that ought to be added to that is that all 6 councillors should be involved and consulted in relation to the selection of those 4 to make that really transparent for the members of the committee. And then for part B, it says where there's deemed to be a conflict of interest of more than 2 members of the elected review panel, the council can co-opt other councillors to the review panel on a case-by-case premise. And again, I think that would then, I think, needs to be open to all councillors and all councillors to be notified that they are co-opting, so that it's transparent and clear for everybody involved as to how the decisions are made about who will be looking at each particular case on each particular investigation. Particularly important for the review panel that it's very transparent.
Chair, do you mind?
Yeah.
If you go down one more under section 8, it's actually only the parish councils, which is all 12 councils in attendance at that meeting, that can instruct that meeting. It can only come through a recommendation to council for council to decide that. So it would be transparent to all 12 councillors.
So that deals with point B, is that right? That Andy's just raised.
If I've understood correctly, I mean, I'm sure Andy will come back.
Yeah, it's the way point 7 is worded, and 8 doesn't really clarify it. It doesn't say how those people would be determined. And I think it's important for part A that all six councillors on the committee know specifically what is being looked for, because not everybody might know somebody's experience, skill set or whatever. So everybody can kind of say, well, I've got this, but actually I've got an impartiality issue or not. But similarly, if there isn't enough of those, then I think all councillors. I think what I'm trying to say is that we shouldn't have a situation where somebody is asked to join that committee for Part B without all councillors knowing that somebody has been asked to join. Somebody has been co-opted. And it's not clear that that would be the case given the way it's worded.
Yes. I'll come back to you in a minute, Andy. I'll just bring Susie in, yeah?
So is it should be selected by full council, the full council can co-opt other councillors, is it the full member? That's what you're saying, isn't it, John?
It has to be a recommendation from you to come to council for council to make the decision. So if it's an amend on the words, this is obviously a draft for that reason, but I'll let Martin deal with that.
So yeah, that's my understanding of. So in terms of co-option, that would have to come to full council anyway, you know, via the party. So it would be like an agenda
Not just
item.
the six.
So it wouldn't just be the 6, no. It would be all 12 selecting who to co-opt if for whatever reason the 6 had conflicts of interest, for example. That's my understanding of it. Is there a proposal or an
Well, I think
amendment?
I would propose then that it should say, for Part A and B, it should say, not just say council, it should say by full council.
So you don't just add the word full in.
Yeah, before council in each one.
Are we...
Chair, just to state that is an amendment that I can take because council does mean full council. So I can take that amendment. It's up to you how you do it.
I'll move it. Well, let me just take comments. So, Andy's proposing, Sean's seconding. Any comments on that? So just before council, it says full council. Gemma's just advised she can do that anyway, because that's what we're meaning, so if it just helps clarify the matter, so we don't actually have to go to a vote, but on that. Are we happy with that? So, is that... Sorry, I'm not just looking at you.
It just refers to full council as well, doesn't it? So,
Council refers to full. I'll just have to work for it.
Yeah.
It's terminology.
So in some places it does say full
Yeah.
council.
So we can just add that in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy to
Okay.
do that.
I'll move to a vote then on the terms of reference of committees then. So we can make that full council. Just have to go to a vote on that. So can we get a proposal and seconder for terms of reference? Andy proposing, Sarah seconding. Can I move to a vote, votes in favour then, please? Full house, thank you. 8.3. So, to review delegation arrangements to committees, subcommittees, staff and other local authorities. So we've got the scheme of delegation, of which we had this document again in our packs.
Yeah, there's been no changes, Chair. It's just what we agreed when it was adopted in September 2024.
No.
But we still have to take it through for...
Yeah, it's the annual review as well. Any comments or questions? Can I get a proposal and seconder for continuing with that? Lynn proposing, Nathan seconding. So that's getting my words in the middle. Votes in favour then of adopting that? Got full house, thank you. 8.4, so I've just got a statement that I'm going to read just before we address this item. So, as Chair, I want to take this opportunity to reassure all members and residents that the process of electing members to our committees will be carried out in a manner that is fair, transparent and fully democratic. Every member of this council is eligible to be elected onto a council standing committee and will be given an equal opportunity to participate, and every eligible vote will count equally. We are committed to ensuring that no undue influence, pressure or interference from any persons present, elected or otherwise, will be tolerated in any part of this process. The evening's next agenda item is for member review to the following council standing committees: Finance and General Purchase Committee, Village Amenities Committee, Environment, Road Safety and Planning Committee, Personnel Committee, the review panel committee. Subcommittees and working membership will be determined by the parent committee as it's at the next meetings of those committees. So moving on to elect representatives to the committees then, please. Do I have any questions or comments first? No. Any proposals? Or I'll bring Sean in and then Sarah.
Propose Andy Shirley, finance minister.
Okay, I'll take that on board. Just let me bring Sarah in first.
Can I just ask you, Martin, how you propose to deal with these elections?
It depends on how councillors wish to do it. Like
Right.
Sean's just basically said, so because Sean's just commented, I will take finance and general purposes on its own and do an election to that. If that's the only change that we're going to do in terms of members, if council wants to continue with the current membership as is, I will take block voting on all the others apart from finance and general purposes, if that is the only committee that's going to have a change.
If we're going to keep council on committee, what's on, I will want to do with that.
So
Yeah, I'll try that.
you retract? Okay. So Sarah, are you proposing block?
I'm going to, well, I think it might be helpful to do it sort of one at a time.
Okay.
So to be doing F&G
Yep.
first. I'd like to propose that the current members, council members of that committee are re-elected for another year. All of them together. Obviously, if another additional person nominated, we'll have to have a vote, won't we?
Yes. So
Sorry, Martin. If a seventh person or an eighth person nominated, we'll have to vote.
yes.
So effectively, I'm nominating Martin Roberts, John Bell, myself, Susie Sherratt, Sharon Maiden and Caroline Hall as members of the F&GP committee.
Proposed by Sarah, seconded by Sean.
I'm happy with that. I just wonder if we need to just check if anybody wants to leave the committee before we do that. That was all. I don't know anybody that does, but I just thought, just as a...
Is anyone
Yeah, we can do one at a time.
Does anyone want to leave? No? I will take them all, as Councillor Balk has suggested, I will take them all individually then. So, finance and general purposes, we had a proposal and a seconder for the finance and general purposes committee for its membership to remain as is. I'll move to a vote. Votes in favour then, please. We've got a full house on that. So that's finance and general purposes. So village amenities committee, I'll come to next. Can we get proposals for that? Sarah again?
I'd like to propose again that the existing members are re-elected, so I'm effectively nominating John Bell, Susie Sherratt, Martin Roberts, Sharon Maiden, Nathan Bland and myself, if I can nominate myself.
Yep.
I'll second that.
Sean seconding. Okay, votes in favour of that. Full house, thank you. Environment, road safety and planning committee. Losing my voice. Proposals, then please.
Propose those that we propose the current people, myself, Martin Roberts, Sarah Balfour, Sean Richmond, Ian Moore and Amanda Cook.
Excellent. Take that proposal from Andy. Sean seconding. Votes in favour then please. Full house again. Thank you. Personnel committee. Proposals then please.
Can I make the same proposal to propose Martin Roberts, John Bell, myself, Sarah Balfour, Sharon Maiden, Stephen Parker, Nathan Bland.
Yeah, seconded.
Members of that committee.
Lynn seconding. Thank you. Votes in favour then please. Full house. The review panel committee. Proposals.
So that committee doesn't have any membership chair, so I'm not going to...
So this is a new.
6 in total.
Just trying to find it online. Sean, yeah.
I propose Andy Shirley.
To propose second is for everyone. Just how you're going to...
Can I get a seconder for Andy?
Who seconded it? Sorry.
Sean's proposing.
Susie second.
Oh, so seconded, yeah, thank you. So proposed and seconded for Andy. Sarah, yeah?
Can I propose you, Martin?
Yeah. I think because I'm chair, I'm automatically on it anyway.
Yeah, so,
Under the terms and conditions, the chair's automatically on the personnel.
so you're automatically one of the 6 members?
Can I just check that, Chair, because I know that's the personnel. But can I just check that's how the terms of reference were written for the review?
Yeah.
Unless you confirm that already. We already checked that.
I have checked it.
That's fine. I know that's how it works for personnel.
Oh, sorry, the review panel.
Yeah,
Sorry, no, I'm confused with personnel. Sorry about that. Just self-dominating. Sorry, yeah, proposal. Second, you like? Yeah, so far there's Andy and myself proposed and seconded. Got all that,
got
haven't
them to,
we? Yeah.
Can I propose Susie, should I?
Yeah. Seconder for Susie. Stephen seconding. We need 6 members in total. So far we've got 3 nominations proposed and seconded. John, yeah?
Could I propose Sarah Bob, please?
Yeah. Seconder. Lynn seconding. So Sarah's proposed and seconded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lynn?
Oh, sorry, go on.
So Sharon proposed by Lynn. Seconder. Sarah seconding.
Can I propose Nathan?
Andy proposing Nathan and seconded. Yeah. Have we got 6?
Hold on a second, just keep writing. That is 6.
Anybody else?
Do you want me to go through, run through, or we've got 6?
First of all, do any other nominations? No? Okay, if we run through the names.
So that was Andy, Martin, Susie, Sarah, Sharon, Nathan.
Okay. If there's no more nominations, I'll take all those 6 names on block, if that's okay. So votes in favour of accepting all those people at full house. Thank you very much. Okay. 8.5, to elect the... So 8.5 says to elect the chair and vice chair to existing committees.
Correct.
So, yes.
I think we've missed the community centre working group.
That
do we not
was
do
from the
that?
parent group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I was just, that was one that, sorry to say that, just to interrupt, that was one where it didn't have to be on the parent committee, wasn't it? I think.
Members can come,
Yeah.
you can be a member of that committee, but it's still the parent committee that will do that election.
Oh, okay.
If that, you know, the process that we've just gone through for all the others.
Yeah.
It's open membership.
Okay.
But it is
That's
open
fine,
membership
yeah.
to all 12 councillors.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so to elect the chair and vice chair to existing committees.
Just check, can I just make a comment on that? So in our standing orders, that's how it states, but the previous 2 years we have delegated that to the committee, so I just wanted to remind you of that.
Okay. Comments or proposals or... Nathan, yeah.
Just propose that we delegate to the committees to decide the chairs and vice chairs.
I second that.
Okay, so
Done before.
delegation to the committees to elect their own chairs and vice chairs.
I'll second that.
Nathan and Lynn seconded, sorry. Votes in favour of that action on those? Full house. Thank you. 8.6 to appoint members.
Sorry, nothing very quick. I've sort of lost track of this along the way. So is the village events subcommittee being chosen from among the
That goes to the parent
members
committee.
of the parent committee to sort out?
Yeah, it's open.
So the parent committee can select any of the 12 councillors, but the process will be done under financial general purposes, because that's...
Okay, thank you.
So any subcommittee, if any councillors are interested in that, if you can let the clerk know, we can make sure that the relevant committees know that information. So 8.6, to appoint members as representatives to outside bodies and confirm arrangements for reporting back. At the minute we get reports back to full council and there's like its own section on that. I don't see any need to change that. I think that's working quite well. And the reports are good as well. So any other comments or yeah?
Can I make a proposal?
You can make a
Can I
proposal.
propose that the existing representatives continue for another year, except I think we need to, didn't we agree that we put somebody on the, we send a representative to the libraries, is it the trustees of the libraries, management committee? Yeah, so we'd have to know.
Yeah. So I think that's currently outstanding, isn't it? We need to
Yeah.
re-elect. Yeah, that's what's
Okay,
going
so you're already on it. Right, okay. So yes,
Yeah.
I'd like to propose that the existing representatives are re-elected for another year.
Can I get a seconder for that proposal? Lynn seconding. Can I just double check as well that no one wants to drop off of any of the outside bodies?
I know that I came off the patch a while ago.
That was not in the process. Oh, you did, sorry, we agreed to go down to 2, didn't we? Yeah, Chair, that's correct. So actually Pat is remaining at 2, which is Andy Sherritt and John Black. And
Okay.
council agreed 2 was enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other comments or proposals or? Okay, so we've got a proposal which is for all the current members on outside bodies to remain the same. Can they get votes in favour of that? Because we've got proposal and seconder. And we've got full house. Thank you very much. Excellent. Okay, so that's all